Okay, so we are nearing the end of the season and it's finally getting off and popping, okay?
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Have and Have Not Season 5, Episode 22. Like I said, we are nearing the end of the season, and baby, it's really going down. So let's just start right where we left off. Katherine and Jim, and they're getting down, okay? They gets on down. Jim ends up professing his love to Katherine. Lying. He gives her an apology and all of that. And I'm like, Katherine, you great fall for this. Babe, when I looked at Katherine, was like, it is too late. I'm not trying to hear none of that shit you're talking about. And if you love me, too bad for you, because I'm not in love with you. I am going to divorce you, and I'm telling you this now. I'm leaving here. And when I get back, you better be gone, and then don't come back up over here no more, because if you do, I'm going to use the same gun that I used to blow away Jennifer Salazar to blow you away. And I'm going to do it just as easy as I just blew you. Understand? Baby, I don't know, but Jim obviously believed her because he got to put his stuff on real fast. I looked out, said he grabbed his shoes first. I said, child, she startled Jim. But he ended up calling David, and he did tell David, I just did the worst thing in the world. I had to sleep with Katherine. He just really has no feelings for Katherine at all. Just the best. Anyway, moving on. So, David ended up having a conversation with Jeffrey. And he was telling Jeffrey to stay away from Veronica. And he's like, well, she calls me all the time. He's like, I don't care if she calls you. Stay away from your mother. I'm working on something. And Jeffrey said to David, so what are you going to do to her? What are you going to do to her? And David was like, I am not going to hurt your mother, boy. Are you crazy? I'm not going to hurt your mother, but you will hurt your mother if you have another one of your little snap outs. So like I said, stay away from your mother, Jeffrey. And that's that. She's like, okay. He's like, okay, no problem. And I was like looking at Jeffrey, and he was giving real psychotic, and David was giving, he was like, no, I'm not going to hurt my wife, you damn fool. So then Jeffrey ends up contacting Justin, and he tells Justin, I want to see you. And that was after he actually got a phone call from Wyatt. Wyatt and Anna were outside walking around. They were at the park, and they invited him to come down. He was over there grinning and skin. And I was like, I wanted to smack Jeffrey in the face. He was so, oh, you sound so good, this, that, and the other. I said, you are always so under his spell. And Wyatt has said something to him about staying away from Justin. He's like, that guy, he's weird. He was at my house when the cops came to my house and all that. So right after they got done talking, Justin got called from Jeffrey. Jeffrey told him, I want to see you. He comes, he's like, I'll be right there. You know, he went right there, baby. Got there, and Jeffrey got to tell him about how he needs to get help, and this, that, thing, and the other, and all that. And he was like, just going, I'm like, Justin, you really are giving psycho kind of. He was really doing too much. He's like, so you're breaking up with me? This is your idea of how to fix things? Is that you're breaking up with me? He's like, breaking up with you? We're not together. Like, we don't have, I'm like, child, stop saying that stuff to him. You're going to make him get you, Annie. And he kept going on and on. So then he was like, just stop it. So then Veronica ended up calling. And of course, Justin was like, who is that? Is that guy? It's that steady going off. He's like, no, it's my mother. He ended up answering it like his dad told him not to. Veronica's like, what are you doing, Jeffrey? And he's like, I'm not coming back there. And she's like, yes, you are. This, that, thing, and the other. She said, are you with that boy? And he gonna say, no, Mom, I'm not. She gonna say, put me on the speaker. She gonna say, hey, what's going on, you little dirty ball of yarn? I said, oh, And she kept going. Now she steady going on with Justin, and she'll say, girl, didn't I tell you to stay away from my son? You just don't listen. This, that, the other. They're going on and on and on. And he's telling her, he's like, ma'am, look, I done told you, you better stop playing with me. She kept telling him, she said, that's okay. Guess where I'm going tomorrow? I'm going down and telling your wife everything, and I'm pressing charges against you because I told you to stay away from my son. But I'm going to go do it, honey. So they get off the phone with Veronica. Jeffrey assures them, oh yeah, she's going to do it. That's her. Because he's like, you don't think she's not going to do it, is she? She's like, she's going to do it. She told you she's going to do it. She's going to do it. Well, he basically let Jeffrey know. He said, she better not, or she's going to be sorry. I said, oh. And Jeffrey's like, just kind of, he's like, that's it. You know, it was no ifs, no ands, no buts. He basically threatened Veronica to Jeffrey. I was like, okay, now your dad done already told you he ain't gonna hurt her, but your boyfriend done told you. I said, okay. So that's gonna be interesting. So let's go back over David's house. David's nose is this far open. Erica got David all wrapped up. She's moving into his apartment now. And she just told all her little lies, and I'm sick of her. And I'm not even going to go into no long explanation about them two, but his nose is wide open, and I just can't wait until Candace gets her hands on her. Period. Moving on. Landon and Charles. Landon goes and approaches Charles, and he wants to apologize to Charles. He says, "Can I talk to you?" They go to the side. He apologizes to Charles about all the stuff with Candace and all of that, and not listening to him and all of this. And I'm sitting and I'm looking and I'm saying, this is what I haven't said anything to you all, but I'm going to say it all tonight. I've been feeling like for a while that Landon is a tramp. Okay? And I knew it was only a matter of time before Landon would start to make the mistake of coming on to Charles, especially with the way that Charles handled him. Landon has this thing of liking to be handled. And the way Charles handled him and was ready to jump on him, I said, it's only going to be a matter of time before Landon is giving Child, look, I won't tell nobody, honey. Just put it in me real quick, honey. And I'm like, clutch the pearls, honey. Sure enough, that's what I got through this conversation. I was looking at how he was looking at Charles, and Charles clocked it. You know, he was like, what else? What, there's something else you want to say? Okay, get out my face. I was like, honey, that Landon wanted him a piece of Charles. So, well, girl, I can't say I really blame you, girl. He's hot, but girl, you're just a slut, honey. You need to get you somewhere to sit down. Anyway, so once they did all that, and he was showing him where he had cleaned up Candace's name and all that, he's like, okay, you can go. I want to call her now. Like, he let it be known, like, I ain't interested in you, child. I'm only interested in her. He calls Candace, and Candace is basically just making him, Candace is flipping the script and making him want her, which is good. That's the Candace that I love, honey. So, okay, so let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this. This right here was the best scene all season. The funeral home and the family, honey. We're in there. You know, Hannah's doing her whole thing. She'll choose this cheap casket. I said, look at this old trifling ass, shady funeral man trying to sell her the better casket. He's like, well, you know, Mrs. Cryer called. She's paying for everything. And this is a better casket over here. And she's like, no, I can't afford it. I don't need all that extra. I just want this, and this is it. So they're going through all of that. Benny's kind of going and saying, well, mommy, you know, Candace is coming. You know, Candace decided. She's like, look, anybody got time for Candace? Let's get this done and let's move on. And the funeral was supposed to be the next day. Candace ends up showing up. Baby, they get to going back and forth. And Candace is like, well, who picked the casket? Who did this? Who did that? And he's like, oh, your mom. You know, so she was like, I don't want that one. I want that one. Blue was his favorite color. I want him in the blue one. And they get to go on with her with the, well, are you going to pay for it? This, that, and the other, and on and on and on. And Candace is like, I'll get it paid for. And she just was like, she hasn't been a part of anything. She's been pretty pushed out of it. All the planning has been done. They were just there to okay all the arrangements. That just pissed Candace off. So Candace was coming in petty and was literally anything they said that they wanted, she didn't want. This, that, and the other. She didn't want him buried at the church. She didn't want him his funeral at the church. She wanted it at some other place. This, that, thing, and the other. And they really started breaking it down to the whole this, that, thing, and the other. She's like, I want the other casket, period. And the man was like, well, I could make some phone calls and try to get. And Hannah was like, ain't nobody thinking about all that. It's going to be this one, period. So the man's like, well, Candace said, go make the phone calls. So when he went to make the phone calls, baby, when I tell you Candace, Benny, and Hannah had it. Honey, she got to letting Hannah have it face to face, telling her about how you didn't get a scratch on you. You didn't get shot. You did this on purpose. You let my baby get killed. All because you're petty and you wanted to get back at me. You were trying to hurt me. This is why he's dead. You did. I said, oh, Candace, stop it. And that's when Benny started jumping on Candace and telling her, you stop it, this, that, and you stop saying it. I'm sick of your bullshit, Candace. He started going off on Candace. So I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of understood a little bit of that. But then she told him, you shut up. I'm sick of you. I said, oh, wait a minute. So then the two of them start going back and forth. She says, I'm sick of you. You ain't no better. You've been hanging out with her. Now you're going to try to treat me the way she treat me and talk to me the way she talks to me. And I'm all wrong. And he's telling her, she didn't do this. She didn't do that. And where he made his mistake, he went there and told her, it's all your fault that it happened. I was there when war came in there looking for you. He could have killed us all. And I'm sick of your bullshit, which is correct. But at the same time, then she flipped that and told him, and I'm sick of you. Because, yeah, I do this, I do that. I'm wrong about this, that, and the other. But you know what? You've always taken advantage of whatever it is wrong that I did. You've always been on the receiving end of the bullshit that I've done. I said, come on, Candace. Come on, Candace. And I said, uh-huh. And Benny's mouth will drop. And there wasn't nothing Benny or Hannah can say, because she is exactly right. She told me, I'm sick of you and your pipe dreams and your fantasies of grandeur and all of that. He gonna tell her, you're my sister. I was just talking about sister. And I never asked you to sell your ass to do it. I said, oh, Benny. See what happens when you do things for people? And then they flip it back and throw it in your face. Baby, she let Benny have it and let him know that he was useless. You're useless and you ain't nothing but a puppet for your mammy. Your mammy ain't nothing but an old indentured slave. And you step and fetch him right along with her. And I'm sick of both of y'all. I said, all right, Daddy. So, and you know, I was so conflicted because some of the stuff that Benny and Hannah was saying was correct, but what Candace was saying was correct as well. And Benny has, as long as we've known, Benny has always benefited in some way, shape, or form, whether it did last for a long time or not, from Candace's indiscretions. And he did have a lot of nerve saying some of that shit to her that he said. But baby, she let him have it, and I was so happy with this scene. She got them together. And they went back and forth. She told him, listen, let me tell you something. Ain't going to be no funeral tomorrow. It's going to be next week. I'll get you the money, and I'll bring the money tomorrow. And that is that. It is my son. I am his mother. And that is that. I was like, all right, honey. And she told us and Hannah threw that out there. Where are you going to get the money? Oh, it's that man. That man that's running for president. And then she said, that's what it's all about. Benny, that's why the Secret Service and all that, that's why you were in jail. It was all her fault. She's like, what are you talking about? So Hannah was putting that out there. She says, well, what if? She said, it's ridiculous. She said, you would rather scheme and connive and steal to get something done. And she said, and you would rather take crumbs that fell off the table. I said, oh. But they both were telling the truth. I said, oh my God, it was good. It was good. And then right when she said, who wants to put their baby in this old casket? And she flipped the casket up, didn't realize, the baby was in the casket, honey. And that just like broke Candace. And it was a mess. That scene there, for me, was the best scene of this whole season. I said, okay, Tyler, now you did that. Again, because we almost at the end. Don't he always do that? Like to smack his face. But anyway, that's kind of where it ended out at. And it's going to get even better next week. I can't wait. I said, this is too much. But I enjoyed it. All right, so I'll talk to you guys next week. Later.